got a comment to read already, which is lovely. Let's have a look. Is that Iggy? I think that is you, isn't it? Let's just need to turn the volume down on that. Just going to put in a first comment. Let us know where you're watching from, so that and you to our world map of. Right, let's do it. So it is really, really hot in here. Not helped by having all the lights and the, piano, guitar, screens. But let's see how we go. So we're live. It's Thursday, 7 p.m. You're here with the Jam Station. My name is Aaron, and I'm a guitar teacher, a musician, and a songwriter. For the next hour or two, I'm going to be teaching you a guitar lesson on the modes, and stay to the end because we'll do some ear training, a little bit of interval recognition. For the last 20 consecutive Thursdays, we've been studying the modes through a variety of different exercises and studies. We've been doing 3-note sequences, diatonic thirds, triads, arpeggios. Last week we did put all of that technique to practice with a modal guitar solo that used all 7 modes across 14 bars, and that was great fun to do something different, perhaps a little bit more creative. Today it's back to business with a big exercise around 4-note sequencing. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm trying to remember Strelka. Did we speak last week? I think we spoke last week, didn't we? I thought you were my mate Iggy, but I'm not sure. Anyways, I think it's the problem. Everyone's username, no one's username is their name. So anyway, if this is your first time with the Jam Station, then welcome. If you've been here before, then welcome back. And if you're watching this after the live stream from the live tab of our YouTube channel, then I'll have already added the chapters in the description, so you can hit pause, navigate backward and forward around the video at your own speed. If you are on the live stream with me now, obviously that's more fun. You can't pause me, but feel free to drop a comment at any time. Ah, Anthony, right, sorry. Oh, hello, mate. I didn't realise that Stroker was you. Cool. Well, I'm glad you're here, mate, even if it's just for a little while. Yeah, you feel free to drop in a comment at any time. Tell me where you're watching from, because I've now got a world map, which I'm slowly filling in each country in a different colour, as and when people comment from that country. Tell me what songs or techniques you're working on at the moment, or even better, tell me what you want to work on so I can consider adding that to future content. And definitely stop me at any point if you have any questions about tonight's guitar lesson. Don't hesitate, because there's a good chance that if you have a question, then someone else watching may have a similar question. Okay? So either way, live stream or playback, don't forget to tap that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I'm going to demonstrate the full pick and study now, so you can see the full exercise from start to finish, and then I'll outline our lesson objectives and we'll get on with learning it. While I'm going over these, you can download the tab, which is linked below. Okay, there's a link to the free tab. It's on our Patreon. I'm just going to show you where that is quickly. If I go to, that is our Patreon. If I scoot across, it is the top one there, Livestream 21, sequencing. Okay, so there's 2 pages. And have a look around while you're there. Right, let's go back to the camera. Back to the camera. There we go. Right. Oh, I need to click my... I've got this little stream box which tells me what my internet signal's like and how many people are online, stuff like that. All that jazz. So, the full exercise. Let's do it. I'm going to go into Logic and hit it. So we're going to go through 7 modes with ascending sequencing. I've practiced this quite a lot in the last couple of days, so no doubt I'll cock it right up straight away. Here we go. Ready? 4 I've said this before, but it's amazing how you can practice that all day, totally pressure free, nail it every time, and then as soon as the camera's on, you're like, your fingers, your brain's thinking about everything but the exercise. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight, okay? That exercise, we'll be breaking it down into the 7 modes and gradually stringing them together one by one. Let me know what the levels are like, if that's all right, anyone. Anthony, if you're watching, just like, what's the balance like between the guitar and the voice, stuff like that. So that's the exercise. Let's look at our lesson objectives very quickly. There are 3. Il y en a 3. Number 1, we're going to develop strong picking technique, okay? We're not just running straight up and down the scales tonight. We're moving backward and forward through the scale in the 4-note groupings. Yes, it's alternate picking, but you're changing direction throughout, and this is making your picking far more versatile. Number 2, by the same token, fluid fretting hand technique, okay? So you're learning to control your fingers and manipulate them. All good. Okay, good. Thanks, mate. Manipulate them into new patterns, which will add interest to your solos and licks, okay? You're not just going down the full scale. Now, with sequencing, you're rarely, in the real world, going to sequence a full octave, a full scale. That would sound predictable. But by learning to sequence these full, big patterns, you're going to be able to drop in a phrase of sequencing when you're improvising, wherever you are within the scale or mode, okay? Point 3, modes and music theory. I say this every week, but music theory is your friend, okay? Trust me. And learning the modes in parallel like this means that we can memorize which intervals change as we move from mode to mode. Modes bring loads of color and complexity to your guitar playing that you can't just get from pentatonic scales alone. And the music theory is what glues it all together. Hopefully you'll see by the end of the lesson that we'll have learned a ton about intervals in particular. So, those are our objectives. Sequencing. You may be wondering, what is sequencing? Okay, now when we sequence a scale or a pentatonic or an arpeggio or whatever, or even a triad, we're going up or down it in groups of notes. Okay, so a few weeks ago we sequenced the modes in groups of 3. So we went up 3 notes. Let's do Lydian. Up 3 notes, back a note. Up 3 notes, back a note. Up, back. Okay, and when you put that together, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. These are a really great way of getting the scales into your fingers without just going up and down them. Barry Harris was a great musician who recommended this kind of thing. We can also descend sequencing. So here's a pentatonic scale. Okay, descending that. Hello, mate. Good evening. Good to have you back. So it's nice to see a couple of old faces here. So that was a descending pentatonic. Now, tonight we're going to sequence in 4s. Haven't done that yet on this channel. So this means we're going up 4 notes. Then up from the 2nd note, 4 notes. Up from the 3rd note, this is still Lydian. Up from the 4th note. Which means if there are 7 notes within our scale or within our mode, each exercise will be 7 groups of 4 notes. Okay? So that's sequencing. Why is sequencing popular? Like, why is sequencing popular? Why should you learn sequencing? Well, it is a really effective device for both soloing, composing, okay? You're just as likely to hear sequencing in a jazz sax solo as you are at the end of a squealy rock guitar solo. You'll also hear examples of it in classical music. A classical composer may well give like the strings, so the violins, a sequence, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, okay? That's a really effective sound. Sequencing can sound effective to the listener because as soon as you've heard the first couple of sequences, so let's just use Lydian as our example again. It's like your brain kind of almost knows what's coming next. Even if you're not a musician, it's to say you're a layman, right, but you like listening to music. You hear that and you know that that just keeps going up 4, back 1, up 4, back 1. So it kind of feels inevitable and it feels good when that delivers on the promise that we've predicted. Okay, you anticipate the phrase and you hear it, and that gives that tiny little dopamine hit. Okay, before dopamine was a thing through mobile phones, we got our dopamine hit from sequencing in classical music. So I'm sure you'll get that sense during the tutorial tonight as we're moving through the sequences. It will feel inevitable as you move through the scale. So that's why it's a really useful device to put into your own solos. Right, let's get on with it. As per the last few weeks, we're going to play the modes in parallel. That means that each scale will start from the same root note E here at fret 7 on the A string. So these are using the cage system, A shape, okay? So the Lydian and Ionian will use the major scale, so they will use the major chord shape there, Mixolydian, the dominant shape, and then the remaining modes will be over a minor chord. The final one, Locrian, will be over a half diminished chord, but they're all going from that same root note E, okay? The advantage of learning your modes in parallel keys rather than playing them all in the same key, i.e. diatonically, is that we get a direct comparison of which intervals are changing from mode to mode, and we also get to hear how the mood or the atmosphere changes as well. So I'm going to start with Lydian. Lydian contains a root, a second, a third. That feels like we're going up the major scale, but then it has an augmented fourth or a sharp 4, root, second, third, sharp 4, and then the rest of the scale is the same, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, octave. Okay, so very similar to the major scale with that one note difference. Let's get the tab up on screen. There it is. Okay, so we're starting with that top exercise Lydian. Hopefully you've got your guitars with you. Hopefully you've downloaded the tab from the link in the description, but you'll have it on screen as well. Let's get on with it. Okay, so we're going to warm up just for 2 or 3 minutes using that first beat, okay, which is 7 and 9 on the A string and 6 and 8 on the D string. Okay, I see there's a few of you watching, guys. Okay, don't forget to drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. I really love to know where people are. We're getting comments from Asia and Latin America, North America, Canada, different countries in Europe. I've had no one from Wales yet. No one in Africa, okay? But let me know where you're watching from so I can add your countries to the world map, which we're building in the background. Right, using this as a warm-up because it uses all 4 fingers. 7, 9, 6, 8. So just start with a little loop. Alternate pick it if you can. Okay, we can then double pick that. Just to sync the fingers up. It doesn't need to be fast. Obviously, if you want to do it faster than what I'm doing, go for it. Let's do triplets. Okay, so 3 notes per click. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. It's just to warm up the fingers. It says, stop talking, Aaron. And let's do 16th notes. So the rhythm that's written on the page is 4 notes per click. Back to down on every beat. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and let's do 5s. Let's just make it a bit more interesting, give the brain something to work on as well. So when I play 5s or quintuplets, I say university, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? Do that at your own speed, but feel free to push the speed if you want, but you want to feel like every note is clean. Okay, and then let's just finish with sextuplets. So 6 ears, 1 and a 2 and a down, 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 down. Cool, right. So we've synced the fingers together. Probably more of a workout for the pick than the fingers that. Let's start moving through this beat by beat, joining them together. We're basically, the technique I use for learning things like this is building little cells, little 1-beat cells, gradually joining them together to create bigger cells, and before you know it, you're able to play the whole thing straight through, okay? So our first cell is going to be that, 7, 9, 6, 8. We've just looped the life out of that, so let's add in beat 2 as well. So that's going to be our sequence going from the second note at fret 9, this is beat 2, and you're going to go 9, and then move on to the D string, 6, 8, 9, okay? Your second cell, your second sequence. Let's join those 2 together. So we get 7, 9, 6, 8, then 9, 6, 8, 9. between the two beats, so we get a steady sequence of 8 notes. So we're creating a larger cell there, okay? Do this at your own pace. I won't be able to hear you. Let's add in beat 3. Beat 3 goes from this G sharp. We're going to move across the D string, 6, 8, 9, and onto the G string at fret 6. Okay. If you want to put that into a continual loop, you'll see you're starting and finishing on 6. So you'd need to play that 6 on the G string with the pad of the finger, so you can roll onto the tip of the finger. Pad, tip, pad, tip. It looks like an unusual movement for the hand, but it kind of, with a bit of practice, it just feels really natural. But it means you don't have to take the finger off and on and break the notes up, okay? Let's add those 3 beats together. So we've got 3 1-beat cells, 7, 9, 6, 8, then from the second note, then from the third note. Now because the last note there is at 6 and the first note is at 7 on the A, we can actually create a steady loop. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 1 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 7. Fast, obviously slow it down slightly, and then beat 4, which would be the end of our first bar, is going to be going from the 4th of the scale, which in the case of Lydian is a sharp 4, okay, or an augmented 4th. We're going 8 and 9 on the D string, 6 and 8 on the G, and again we've got a roll there. Look, if you wanted to loop that 1 beat, land on the pad on the G string, so you can roll onto the tip on the D string, pad, tip. That way you don't have, you can play the phrase in a legato fashion. You're kind of doing that, look, my whole arm moves. But you just get used to planting, that feels unusual. Once you move on to the tip, that feels fine. Right, let's join those 4 beats together. So we've got our first sort of big cell, the full bar. So it's going to be 7, then from 9, from 6, then from 8. Again, we're finishing on 8, but starting on 7, so we can put that into a steady loop. Okay, that's bar 1. Let's look at bar 2. So bar 2, we're starting from the 5th now, root, 2nd, 3rd, sharp, 4th, 5th, and we're going to go up, continue going up the scale. Our cell is 9, 6, 8, 9, okay, 6, 8, 9 on the G string. Beat 2 of bar 2 is going to be from the 6th, 6, 8, 9, 7. That's another good one, look, because we're using all 4 fingers. Go up and down it. Anything like that uses all 4 fingers. This sort of pentatonic, okay? So beat 1, beat 2, and then beat 3. We're actually going to play all 5 notes here. Look, we're going to go 8, 9, 7, 9, land on the pad on the B string, so you can roll onto the tip on the G string. Pad, tip, pad, tip, pad, tip. Let's join all 3 of those beats together, finishing on fret 9 on the G string. So I'm fret 9 on the D string, up, then from fret 6, up, then from fret 8, up, finish on the roll. Let's join those together. Go. 9, 6, 8, roll. Right, so far so good. So we started by building 1-beat cells, stringing them together, kind of like memorizing them where possible. And now we've at the position where we've got 2 bars, which we're going to try and put together. So I'm going to play bar 1, leave a tiny gap, and then play bar 2. and then we'll take that gap out. Okay, right, let's go from 7 on the A string. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, if you're not able to just read that straight off the tab yet, that's absolutely cool. Leave a gap after each beat like this. And what that does, 6, and 8, that allows your brain to just process each beat in real time and let those notes run through, let the fingers do what you need them to do. Okay, it's when you try and execute too many programs, if you like, in one motion, that's when we get this bottleneck effect where there's too much going on for the brain to process, and then we have to slow down or make a mistake. Well, adding those gaps, look. Now, even if you can do this, what I'm saying there is extremely useful for even when you're doing more advanced technical stuff, you know, and you find you hit those barriers of progression. Sometimes it's not actually the sort of physical finger speed that's the problem. We think it is, but in actual fact, it's perhaps the brain, the processing of the, you know, executing the program that's slowing you down. So leaving little gaps, treating them as individual cells, and then go, okay, right, I've memorized those. There they are. Then try again. And you'll find that bottleneck's no longer there, and it's not actually a technical thing, and then you can just speed it up. Okay, and then bar 2, then from 6, and then from 8. Let's do bar 2 with the gap, without the gaps. Right. Should we try and put both bars together into one mega cell? Okay. Here we go. So from the from A on fret 7 on the A string with the middle finger. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 E 1 in the comments if that's slightly too fast, slightly too slow, okay, or if you're able to follow that, okay. I'll do that again. I'll do that a fraction slower, and then I'll do it a fraction faster. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 4. Okay, and now a fraction faster. 1, 2, 3, and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice one. Let's do that to the backing track, shall we? So I'll put Logic on, hit play. We're just going to do Lydian. We're going to add these to the backing track, mode by mode. 2, 3, and Lydian. One down. Here we go. Right, we're back. So, the next mode, you may remember I said we're learning these modes in parallel. So we're not learning them in the conventional. Tempo's good. Good. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate that. We're learning these in an unusual order, in that not, you know, most people when they learn the modes, they say, cool, okay, thanks, Anthony. We learn Ionian, and then the second mode is Dorian, and then the third mode is Phrygian, and the fourth mode is Lydian, okay, and that's because those are the order of the modes present within the scale. This method I'm teaching you now means that we can just change one note with every single new mode we go to. That's not the case when we say, if you went from Ionian, this is the normal delivery of learning modes, which would have root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And then if we go to Dorian, which would be our second mode, you'd have root, second, flat, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, flat, 7. So straight away, 2 have changed. Great. Listen. Okay, mate. Yeah, we should definitely do some work on Lydian. But I really appreciate you dropping by, dude. Have a good evening. I miss Ealing. So straight away, you could see I had to change 2 notes there. And sometimes you have to change even more than that. But what we're going to do by going from Lydian straight to Ionian, we're only changing 1 note. Lydian was root, second, third, sharp 4, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay, but Ionian, our second mode, is we're just flattening that sharp 4 to a perfect 4th. So we've got root, 2, 3, You're probably already familiar with that. That A shape is the same as E shape. So you've probably played it from the E string root. There. Okay, it's exactly the same. But we're moving that E to there. So we're now, if I go back to the tab, we're now looking at Ionian, which is our second mode on the list. We're only changing one finger, which is a great way of reinforcing the intervals. So, our first beat, 7, 9, 6, 7, we've changed, okay? Let's add in beat 2 as well, okay? 9, 6, 7, 9. So we can loop that down, 9, 7, 9. So that's a sequence of 4 from the root, and a sequence of 4 from the second. Let's add a third beat in as well. So the third of the scale is from the 6 on the D string. So we're going to go 6, 7 now, our perfect fourth, 9, 6. Okay. Let's put all three beats together. Okay. 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, 6, 7, 9, 6. So that's just what I'm talking about. Leaving the little gaps between each cell. Gradually reduce it until we can say, right, let's take those gaps out. Let's play that as 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and and let's add beat 4 in as well. We're going from the fourth. 7, 9, 6, 8. So that's fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Let's string them together, okay, with a gap after each one. 3 and 4 E and a 9, 6, 8. Now without the gaps, 3 and 4 E and. I was playing Lydian there, apologies. 3 and 4 E and. That's bar 1 of Ionian. Now the good news is, if you look, because we're only changed one note, right? We said to go from Lydian to Ionian, we just sharpened, flattened the fourth. We had a sharp 4 in Lydian. We had a flat 4, or a perfect fourth in Ionian. Now, by the time we get to bar 2, we've already passed the fourth. You see, we're actually starting from the 5th. So that means all of bar 2, because we don't have a fourth to play, it's identical. Bar 2 of Lydian and bar 2 of Ionian are absolutely the same. We've already worked on those tonight, so we can save a little time here. Let's just quickly revisit it. So from the 9, then from 6 on the G, then from 8 on the G, roll. Remember to plant the pad, roll onto the tip. Okay? So that bar's the same. Let's just do that without the gaps. 3 and 4 E and Right, we don't need to knock the life out of that. We've already done it, so let's join bars 1 and 2 together. First of all, with a little gap after each cell, 3 and 4 E and then 9, 6, 7, into bar 2 now, from the 9, 3 and 4 E and 6, from 8, roll. Right, let's do that. We're going to separate bars 1 and 2, but we're going to take the gaps out between the beats. 3 and 4 E and let's do that again. I started to play Lydian. I don't know why. 3 and 4 and into bar 2, 3 and 4 and let's join it all together, and then we'll put the backing track on. Here we go. 3 and the full exercise. 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7. Right. So I'm going to put the backing track on with Lydian, with Logic again. So you can see Logic there. Okay, we're going to play Lydian and Ionian. Here we go. 2, 3, and 4 Ionian. Let's move on to our third mode. Right, we're just going to add them in one by one. Okay, you'll be amazed at what you'll be able to achieve with this system of gradually adding it in, reinforcing what we've learned, keep adding them in, reinforcing. Okay, I've had students who weren't able to play the first exercise at the start of a lesson, and by the time we got to the end, they could play all of them. The backing track I've just played over there is actually on our Bandcamp for free. Let me show you that. Okay, so that's our Patreon. Scroll across. So there's our Bandcamp. And then on the second album across there, look, free learning resources. Tap. And the backing track I'm playing over tonight. All of these are free. They're all free to download. Parallel modes in E, 4/4 time, 2 bars per chord. Okay, so you've got 2 bars of the Lydian chord, 2 bars of the Ionian chord, etc., etc., etc. Okay, that's completely free. They're all free. You can download all 8 of them if you want. There for your enjoyment. Right, let's go back to OBS. The third mode is Mixolydian. So the notes that we're changing to get from Ionian to Mixolydian is the 7th. Okay, so we had root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 octave. We're going to flatten the 7th. Root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. Okay. So what I do suggest to do if you've not played Mixolydian before, just run it up and down a couple of times to get it under your fingers, because you really want to be able to visualize that scale if you're going to sequence it. Keep the comments coming, guys. Keep letting me know where you're from. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm interested to know where people are tuning in from. YouTube is not always particularly helpful for content creators, but it is amazing how it connects people from different countries all over the world. So if you're watching from some far-flung place, let me know. If you're watching from just down the road, let me know. Let's put the tab back up, and I will scroll down to Mixolydian. Good luck that. There you go. She's at the bottom. So we've got a flat 7. So if we're batting smart again, we can see that it's not until we get to that note where we have to make any changes. So that's the same as Ionian, because it's root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, then 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, then 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and it's not until we get to this 4th cell we have a flat 7. You can hear the tonalities change there, or the modality. Okay. So the first 3 beats we can kind of skip through a little bit because we've already done them. And then here, 7, 9, 6, 7. Let's loop that a little bit because it's new. We want new. Let's put some new patterns into our fingers. Bust out of these blue scales and pentatonic scales. You'll see I'm rolling there again. So I land on the pad. G string, so I can roll back onto the tip for the D string. Pad tip, pad tip. Right, cool. So that's putting this first bar together should be reasonably straightforward because the first 3 beats we already know. Then from the second, then from the third, and now our new pattern 7, 9, 6, 7. Let's loop that. Ready? 3 and 4. From the second, from the third, from the 4th. Now without the gaps, 3 and 4 yanda, 1 yanda, 2 yanda, 3 yanda, 4 yanda. Good stuff. One more time. 3 and 4 yanda, 1 yanda, 2 yanda, 4. Right, and the second bar will be a bit different because we're going to pass through this 7th quite a few times. So we're starting from the 5th. We're going to go 5th, 6th, flat 7th octave. So that's new. Then from 6 on the G string, 6, 7, 9, 7. So that's new. Okay, we're a little bit awkward there. And then finally we have 7, 9, 7, 9, rolling back down. We keep having to roll down a minute. Of course you can, if you want to, you could adjust your finger in there so you finish with fingers 1 and 3. That's also completely acceptable. I think as a picking exercise though, it is good to sort of control yourself and have the discipline to, or in the case of Mixolydian. So there's another roll there actually, looking at the tab. No roll there, 6, 7, 9, 7. And then from the beat 3 of that bar, we're also starting from 7 on the G string. So we need to do a reverse roll. So we're going to go 6, 7, 9, 7, but on the pad, so we can roll back to the tip. Okay, you don't want to be tip, jump the finger across. That just feels novice. Okay, so pad, tip. Just work on that first. I will say to people, if they find joining those two beats together difficult, just get the land on the pad correct first of all. Okay, remove any of the distractions. So you can see my fingers angled for the pad. And then go onto the tip. Pad, tip. Pad, tip. Pad, tip. And then play that beat as well. Okay, so it's going to be 6, pad, tip, carry on. Play that whole bar. So bar 2 of Mixolydian, starting from fret 9 of the G string, then from 6, pad tip, and then beat 3. Now without the gaps, 3 and 4 and pad tip, tip, pad. No, pad tip again, sorry. Right, let's join the two bars together. So bar 1 from 9. From 6, from 7, okay, and then we're going to bar 2 from 9, flat 7, then from 6, pad tip. Let's join those two bars together. Here we go. I'll put a gap in between bar 1 and 2. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 flat 7 there. 2, and now let's join the two bars together but without the gap. Okay, we're just going to go straight through. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Right, I think we're ready to try this to the backing track. So we're going to do all 3: Lydian, then Ionian, then Mixolydian. All 3 are actually visible on the screen. So I'll tell you what, I'll leave that rather than go to Logic. Oh, I'm going to go to Logic, but I'm going to leave that tab on screen so you can have a go at reading straight through to the backing track. Here we go. 2, 3, 4 Ionian. 3 down. A is back. Right. I'm enjoying this tonight. I actually went on to, so obviously I've been doing these live streams on YouTube now for like, this is something like week 21. I do the modes on a Thursday night and I do ear training on a Monday night. And I really enjoy it. I'm not going to lie. It's really good. But it's quite a calm environment, you know. It's very respectful. The chat's very respectful, and it's really nice when the chat gets going backward and forward. People ask questions or whatever. And last weekend I had a really nice chat with a guy from Brazil about languages, because obviously his first language is Portuguese, and I spent 3 years with a Portuguese girl, so I studied Portuguese a lot. Okay. So we were chatting about that. But I went on TikTok live yesterday for the first time, today for the second time. Just while I was practicing, I wasn't like running a lesson like I am with this. I just thought, I'll stick it on while I'm doing a bit of metronome practice, see what's there. Well, it is like a jungle. I guess it's a different audience, perhaps they're younger. But we noticed in our stats, our YouTube stream stats and video stats, that our audience is almost like exclusively guys. It's like some weeks it's 99% male. Some weeks it's 100% guys who are watching our content. No women or girls at all. So it was quite nice that I saw a lot of the names coming into the TikTok live were girls. Not that I don't have a preference. Obviously, we want to connect with people, but it was just nice to see that. Well, perhaps it's not just me. Perhaps for whatever reason, YouTube is choosing to send. The algorithm is choosing to send. I mean, I guess it's a lot to do with the guitar community as well, isn't it? But interesting. But it was a very different experience, and I thought I will do it more often, even if it's just for like 15, 20 minutes a day, just to sort of expand the audience, because TikTok as a platform has proved much, much less useful to us than YouTube. Right, let's move on to the next mode. So the next mode is Dorian. So we had Mixolydian, root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, flat 7, octave. Dorian is a minor mode. Now anything with a minor chord, minor scale, minor arpeggio has to have a flat third. So we're going to take our flat third G sharp, and we're going to drop it a semitone to a G natural. Now we're not going to play it there, because then we're sort of bringing ourselves out of position. So we're going to take that G natural and play it at fret 10 on the A string. So our fingering is going to be 7, 9, 10 on the A string, 7, 9 on the D string. Get that over your fingers. Apologies if you know Dorian already. Just treat this as a little chance to just reconnect with an old friend. The scale, I mean, not me. If you see me as an old friend, that's great. And then on the G string, we've got the same as Mixolydian, 6th, flat 7, octave. Okay? So we actually have a change of frets here. Look. I'm starting with my index finger on 7. And then I move the index finger back a fret. So you sort of crab it across. And then crab back on the way down. Look. So that's Dorian. If you've done any of our previous arpeggio lessons and stuff like that for the modes, I was actually using Dorian. That is my little finger up there. But that's just because for that particular exercise it was more convenient, okay, and efficient to use the little finger there. Here we're going to play the 6th there. That is actually the sort of interesting note in Dorian, because most of the minor modes we play, harmonic minor, natural minor, they have a flat 6, okay, which is quite a sad, melancholic note. Dorian has that major 6th, okay, so it just brightens the mode up quite a lot. It's why you'll hear it a lot in funk, soul, okay, it's a very cool mode. It mixes that sadness of the flat third, but with the brightness of the major 6. Right, let's get the tab back up. And I need to switch across to Dorian. So, should switch now. There we go. Oh, it's quite big. Okay, I managed to scroll a little bit more. Maybe that's easier to read. Right, so straight away, this same principle, little cells of 4 notes. So the first one, that's our first 4-note cell there. Let's 7, 9, 10, 7. Down that. You could just go up, pad tip, pad tip. If you wanted to practice your fretbook rolls. Cell 2 is going to be from the second, so fret 9, 9, 10, 7, 9. We can roll as well. Roll there as well. Look. Pad tip, pad tip, pad tip. Let's join those two together. So 7, 9, 10, 7. Then 9, 10, 7, 9. Put that in a little loop. Sorry. I'm stressing slightly the first beat of every 4. That's to really hear the sort of 16th note pulse in this. Plus, it was Sean Baxter who introduced me to this idea when I was in music college. A wonderful guitarist, but talking about dynamics within a phrase using your plectrum. Okay, so rather than sort of keeping it as uniform as possible, obviously it's great to be out of control and make everything feel uniform. Certainly from a production point of view, your producer will always be happy if you can play something quite uniform because he won't have to compress it as much. But from a dynamics point of view, it's really good if you can control which notes stand out more. And there's 2 ways of achieving that. You can strongly accent the notes you want to be louder, which would be that and that. But you can also make the notes that you're not trying to stress quieter. Okay, so you're sort of emphasizing it in both directions, if you like. I love doing stuff like this with students because, you know, you're taking what is a really simple scalic figure and being musical with it. If you can be musical and find ways of making even simple, cold and mechanical things like the first 2 beats of that exercise, if you can make that musical, you can really enjoy your sort of musical journey because you're making even something like that musical and rich. Let's add beat 3 in. So beat 3 is going to be starting from the minor third now. 10, 7, 9. Stretch the index finger back to 6. It's definitely worth looping that because it's the first time since we started doing these tonight that we've actually had to switch frets. You could actually do that in both directions, look. That's a good exercise. Sort of count that triplets now. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1, 2. You could count it 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. Bit harder. Right, so that's beats 1, 2 and 3. Let's join them together. 7, 9, 10, back to 6, major 6. Put that in a little loop. Back to 7, 9, 10. And then we may as well add in our last beat of the bar as well, which is 7, 9, 6, 7. Okay? We had this in Mixolydian. Pad, tip, if you wanted to loop it. Let's try all 4 beats. Okay, first of all with a little gap. 7, 9, 10, 7. One more time. 7, 9, 10, 7 on the D. And remember, we're deliberately leaving those gaps to avoid creating bottlenecks in your mind. You're just allowing each cell to pass through so that hopefully when you do come to join it all together, every single note passes through, you're executing that program correctly, okay? No bottlenecks. And then it should sort of speed up quite quickly. Right, so that's bar 1 of Dorian. We like Dorian. It's a very cool mode. Next time you're at a blues jam and you're busting your pentatonic out and maybe a little bit of blues scale, throw in a Dorian lick as well and watch heads turn. And if you want to hear some guys who are good with that, check out someone like Robin Ford. He throws in a lot of modal phrases into his licks, including Dorian. And the most famous guy for Dorian is Carlos Santana, obviously. But he tends to use Dorian as like a go-to thing rather than something thrown in spice up. His blues playing is very sort of Latin and Dorian sounding. Right. Bar 2. It's so hot here. I've got the light beaming on me here. I've got a light lighting up my piano just to add a little bit of spice to the colour to the room. There's a light there. It feels like I'm sat next to the sun. Right, bar 2. 9 on the D string. 9, 6, 7, 9 is bar 1. Beat 1. Okay. Beat 2 goes from 6, 7, 9, 7. Okay. Keep the comments coming, guys. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you're having any comments. If you're sitting there with a comment or a question, don't be afraid to ask it, because there's a good chance that someone else sitting watching also has the same or similar question, and will probably be relieved that you do ask it. Okay? But I want to know where you guys are watching from as well. So those two are the same as Mixolydian, look. Exactly the same. That's the same as Mixolydian. That's the same as Mixolydian. We change here because we get back to our third. So minor third there, look. Okay. So there's a good tenth there. So with Mixolydian, we were rolling from the major third back to the root. Now we're playing minor third. So those three beats together are from beat 1, beat 2, and then I'm using my third finger to finish on the root with my little finger. Okay. Now that might feel a little bit weird because you're not using the index finger, but that in itself is a good reason to practice it, because being able to do little phrases like that without the most, because obviously that would be a more obvious finger, wouldn't it? Now my little finger's not in use, but that's fine. We don't use our little finger as much. So therefore, let's take our index finger out of use. Straight away that would feel less comfortable. So if you can make that feel comfortable, you're on to a winner, okay? Right, that's bar 2. Let's join bars 1 and 2 together. So we've got a big 4-beat cell in bar 1 and a slightly smaller cell in bar 2. Here we go. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and 2, 3. We've moved back a fret. That's beat 1. That's bar 1. And then into bar 2. From 6. From 7. Third finger. Right. Let's join them up. I'm going to remove those gaps. I'm just going to leave one gap between the two bars. Here we go. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 9, 10. Aaron. 3 and 4 E and a 7, 9, 10. Back. And then into bar 2. Okay. Can you hear that's minor now? Right, let's join it all up and then we'll put the backing track back on. Here we go. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2. 7, 3, once more, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, to the backing track. Okay, so I'll give you logic quickly. Here we go. So it's going to be Lydian, flat on the sharp 4, Ionian, flat on the 7th, Mixolydian, flat on the 3rd, Dorian. 2, 3, and 4 E. Right, let's just have a quick swig of water. Just want to quickly talk about, because while I was on Logic there, I also had a drone. Now I sometimes improvise to a drone. I'm just going to give you an example of a drone. If I solo that track and that track. So this is just an E drone, okay? These are great to improvise to with the modes, because backing tracks, and don't get me wrong, I like soloing to backing tracks, and we've created a lot of backing tracks on this channel, so I'm not going to say don't solo to backing tracks. It's, you know, it's great. But they do give us an inflated sense of how good our improvisation is, or they can do, because obviously they're providing you with a bass drum, a bass line, a rhythm from the drum kit, you know, riffs and stuff to play around, chord sequences. So we can be jamming away, and it can sound, you know, even if you're playing simple stuff, it can sound great. Improvising with a drone is a real grounder because you're removing the rhythm of the kit, you're removing the bass riffs, which add the funk, you're removing the piano riffs and rhythm guitars, and you're just improvising to a tone. And, you know, this is particularly useful. It could be pentatonics, obviously, but it's particularly useful with modes because modes bring, each mode has its own individual ambience and atmosphere. So if I stick that drone back on, okay, and then you're just improvising with your own sense of melody. So if I start with Dorian, so therefore I'll just pick them right there. It's very different, you know what I mean? Less likely to go wild and just blitz licks because they won't sound as effective. What you are forced to do is create your own interest with your own sense of musicality, and that may at first feel like, oh my god, I'm really bad at this. But actually, devices like we're learning today with sequencing can create your own sense of interest. You know, I was speaking at the beginning of the lesson, so for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, I was speaking about why sequencing is such an effective device, both from an improvisational point of view and from a compositional point of view. And it's because sequencing sounds inevitable. Okay, once you hear, so we were using Dorian there, then, well, our brains have already filled out the rest. Okay? Even if you're not a musician, you know what's coming next. This is why guitarists and sax players, improvisers, they use sequencing in their solos. You won't very rarely hear someone sequence a whole scale like we're doing in this exercise, but they'll just throw in a couple of beats of it, and to the listener they hear da 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 da, and they know what's going. Almost as soon as they hear the second one, they know what's coming next. You know, you'll hear in so many rock songs that kind of thing, because as soon as you've heard, the rest is your brain's already plotted it out. So once that's delivered, once you actually hear it, it's a really satisfying sensation for the listener. You'll also hear it in classical music all the time. Okay, so going back to the element of the drone, improvising with the drone, sequencing will suddenly, if you play a couple of sequencing phrases, it will feel really interesting. Okay, give it a go anyway. It's worth a go. Let's carry on with our exercises. Let's carry on with our modes. Let's go back to the tab. We're going to do Aeolian. I'm going to scroll it up for you. In fact, I could scroll me up, couldn't I? Let's get my fat head out of the way. Oh, no. Hang on. OBS is so complicated. Obviously, you guys are just looking at me. But there we go. It's like I'm looking at a spaceship's controls. Right. Aeolian. So this is where when I get to talk about Aeolian, this is where I'm interested to know whether people are watching from the States or Canada or Australia rather than, say, the UK. That's because in the UK, we learn Aeolian quite early on in our musical journey, especially as children, because the other name for the Aeolian is the natural minor scale, and we tend to learn the natural minor scale, even just one octave of it. That would be a preliminary grade in grade 1 scale to learn. Okay, you may learn a second octave, you may learn it in E. Okay, but that would be an early thing to learn, but you learn it as the natural minor scale. You wouldn't learn it as the Aeolian mode. But so when people do start learning modes, this one kind of rings home quite easily. People are familiar with it because they're like, oh, I learned this. But in the States, I don't think you have that same graded music system, do you, of learning exams? Like when I learn, or maybe you do, I don't know. When I lived in France, I know that the graded system it's not the same system of music education, and they focus a lot on music theory early on. But anyway, when we move from Dorian, which is root to flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, to Aeolian, to our natural minor scale, we're flattening the 6th. Everything else is the same. Okay, so root, 2nd, flat 3rd, 4th, 5th, and rather than stretching back to the 6th, we're playing a flat 6 there. So we've got a little bit of symmetry there. Flat 7, still octave. So that you're probably familiar with that shape. You may be familiar with that shape. Either way, get it under the fingers. Let's double pick it. Let's triple pick it. You get the idea. Right, it's under the fingers. So let's sequence it. Right, so until we get up to the 6th, same thing. This is the advantage of learning this system because we're only changing one note with each new mode. There's a lot of it with repetition. So beat 1, only going up to the 4th. Beat 2, going up to the 5th. Those two are the same, look. 1, 2, 1, beat 2. It's here where it changes. Beat 3, we're now hitting our flat 6, okay? That's beat 3. Let's look at beat 4 as well, which is going to be 4th, 5th, flat 6, flat 7. Just going up and down it. All these little cells, they're a great way of learning your scales. Right, so we did beat 1 and 2. Let's do beats 3 and 4. This is another way of learning it. So one great method is learning beat 1, then learning beat 2, putting them together, adding beat 3, adding beat 4. Another good method that's better for, obviously everybody's brains are different. Some people prefer to do, right, we'll do beat 1 and 2, join them together, then treat beats 3 and 4 as a separate thing. So beat 3, 10, and beat 4, beat 3, beat 4, beat 3, see where I'm going with this, beat 3, beat 4, let's join them together now, no gap, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. The reason this is such an effective learning method is because they're really small bite-sized phrases that we can commit to memory easily. Okay? Like very, very quickly. So the same, beat 1, 2, then beats 3, 4. You kind of got two cells there that you can just, two slightly bigger cells you can just join together then. So, he says. Let's do that together again. So bar 1, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. All very good. Let's look at bar 2 of Aeolian. So we're starting now from the 5th. So 5, 6, flat 7 octave. Okay. Beat 2, going from the flat 6, flat 6, flat 7 octave up to the 9th. Practicing this week that I had a tiny little mental block whilst doing this one. I noticed that I would hesitate, don't know why, moving across to that B string. So I just pulled it out of the exercise. And you can do this sort of thing while I'm watching television. And just put that in a little loop. It wants to almost be subconscious, on a low level of concentration. And you just let the fingers find the frets. Personally, I noticed I had a tiny little crease, if you like, in the smoothness of the exercise. I took it out, looped it, and you're kind of ironing that crease out. Okay, so it's then if I add beats 1 and 2 together there, I've got. got a problem. Let's see if we can loop those two from 7 back to the 9. 7, 9. Padraig, hello mate. Increase the mic volume. Let's have a look. I've been singing this week, so I think I've probably need to check. Oh, yeah, my mic. Oh, sorry. How's that? I need to write a little post-it note on my screen saying check mic volume, because this is the second time I've done this. I use this mic when I'm recording. My day job is writing songs for people, so I sing into this as well when I'm recording. And obviously my speaking volume and my singing volume are very different. So I was singing yesterday, so I'd turn the volume back down. I'm actually quite annoyed that this is the second time I've done that. Is that better? Cool. Mate, I really, really appreciate you saying that. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. I actually asked earlier as well and says that how's the mic level? And but there you go. Thank you. I do appreciate that, mate. Back to you guys. Well, hopefully it was interesting. What I was saying was interesting enough for you to hang around and tell me that. So I'll take that as a positive. So that was beat 1, beat 2. Let's just add beat 3 of that bar as well. So 7 and 9 on the G string, and then 7, 8, 9. Okay. That's a 5-note loop. Okay. So that five-note loops are interesting to play and loop because they obviously we used to playing 4s, 2s, occasionally 3s. 5s feel a little bit weird, but if you can count university, 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 university. Another good reason for learning odd numbered loops is that the picking inverts. Okay, so here I'm playing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Padraig, where are you watching from, mate? Yeah, because obviously I'm guessing that's like an Irish name. We've set up a world map where I'm colouring in the countries from where people comment from, and I haven't had anyone from Ireland yet. So if you are, well, wherever you're from, let me know. I'd love to know. But colouring in adding a new colour would be cool. Right, so let's do the second bar as a loop. So 9, 10, then from the 7. You notice there's a roll there from 7 on the B string, on the pad, to the tip for 7 on the G string. Northern Ireland, brilliant. I visited your country in 2024 for a wedding. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah. Belfast. Went up to the Giant's Causeway as well. And all along the coast, all the way there. It's just unbelievably beautiful. And I stayed in Bangor. So, yeah. I will definitely be colouring in New Northern Ireland in the country tonight. And reposting that. On the map, sorry. Cool. Right, let's join bars 1 and 2 together. Okay, so bar 1. Okay, little pause, and then we're going from the 5th, 9, 10, 7. Just should check that roll really. So 9, 10, pad of the finger onto the tip of the finger. Pad, tip. Pad, tip. Okay. Right, let's play the whole 2-bar exercise and then we'll stick it onto the backing track. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it to the backing track. Okay, so I'll keep the tab up on screen. I'm going to go to Logic. So we'll be starting at Lydian, Ionian, Mixolydian, flatten the third into our minor modes, Dorian, and now Aeolian. Oh no, that's the drone still on. Let's take that off. Or the drone talk from earlier. Here we go. 2, 3, Lydian. Ionian. Mixolydian. Dorian. Aeolian. Five down, 2 to go. Right, the last 2 modes is where it starts to get interesting and a little bit exotic, because we're now moving further away from the modes and scales that we're most used to playing. Okay, most people won't have had reason, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, of course, but most people won't have reason to play much Phrygian or Locrian. So we're moving into some exotic territory here. So the difference between Aeolian and Phrygian. Hello, mate. Yeah, you should get some sleep, honestly, because it's late where you are, isn't it? But I really appreciate you popping in again. It's lovely when you keep coming back. So I'm glad you have a good time. I'll be doing some ear training after this modes lesson's nearly done. So there'll be half hour of ear training at the end. So if you want to check that out tomorrow, it will be on the live tab of the channel. You'll be able to watch the whole thing or jump in from the ear training. I'll add the chapters into the description so that you can just go straight in from the ear training. But thanks for stopping and by, mate. I really appreciate it. Right, so the change from Aeolian, which was root, 2nd, flat 3rd, 4th, 5th, flat 6, flat 7, okay, is the 2. We're flattening the 2nd. So rather than root 2nd, we've got root minor 2. Get it under the fingers. Any new shapes like this. Just realised my back was really curved. Just run it a couple of times. Okay, sequencing anything is easier if you know you can visualise a shape that you're meant to be playing. And because we've got a flat 2nd there, so semitone above the root, that means when we get up to the octave, we've also got the flat 9, the flat 2 an octave higher. Okay. Go. Flat 2. Right, let me get the tab back up. And I'll scroll to Phrygian. No. There we go. Tell you what. Let's make me a little bit smaller. How are you guys going to cope with that? Because if I scroll up all the way like that, then I won't need to scroll again. And then if I just make me smaller, we are good. We are set. There we go. So apologies if you're admiring my my fine features. Right. Oh no, we want that, don't we? So, Phrygian. So obviously we're looking for the change. We're looking for the phrases that use the new note. Well, the 2nd is there straight away. Root, 2nd, flat, 3rd, 4th. Loop it. Up, down. And then just straight up. Pad, tip. Pad, tip. Okay. And then beat 2 will also start with the 2nd. So flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5. That's a really useful little cell to loop and practice. Because it uses all 4 fingers. Anything with all 4 fingers, if you've watched me before, come any of these. Thanks, mate. It's lovely to know that you're checking the stuff out on Patreon. Honestly, I really appreciate it. So, yeah, good. Well, hopefully I'll see you next week. I'll be back Monday doing ear training. Thursday here. So, do you find that hopefully your playing's improving, yeah? It's a good advert to anyone else watching. Patreon. Patreon's $2 a month at the minute, and you get access to a library with over 170 guitar lessons in it, all professionally drawn up from like over 20 years of teaching. $2 a month is an unbelievably good price. So there are currently negotiations going behind the scenes about what that should go up to. So if you want to get in at $2 a month, you will stay at $2 a month for the rest of time. Right, so beat 1, and then from the middle finger, beat 2. Let's put that in a little loop. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is Phrygian, remember? Just realised I was looking at Locrian then. Now, the good news is, from beat 3 onwards, it's kind of the same until the end, because the note we've changed is we've already passed it. We just need to go right to the end to where we've added in our flat 9, okay, instead of our major 9, which we had here at fret 7 on the B string. We've now got the flat 9 at fret 10 on the G string. So if we let's just check the other beats. So beat 3 is the same as Aeolian. Beat 4, same as Aeolian. Beat 1 of bar 2 is the same as Aeolian. So all of that, look, is the same. Here's another new beat. So I'm on beat 2 of the second bar of Phrygian, 10, 7, 9, and then fret 10 of the G string. It's new. Okay, we've got 5, 6, flat 7. No, we haven't. We've got flat 6, flat 7, octave, flat 9. Up and down it. Okay, it's a new pattern. Get it under the fingers. And that means we also got beat 3 is also flat 7, octave, flat 9, minor third. Okay, that's also a new pattern. Get it under the fingers. When I joined for the first time, I was sluggish and it was hard to keep up with you, but now after a few streams and practicing the stuff on Patreon, I can say that my playing has improved quite a bit. Mate, that is music to my ears. Brilliant. So, you know, as a guitar teacher, that's what you want your work to sort of help other people progress. So, yeah, I'm really pleased. Thank you. So, and obviously giving me positive feedback like that is great, but any kind of, you know, if you've got negative feedback or, you know, something that you think I could do better, equally, do let me know. Do you know what I mean? No one's perfect. And I might have been teaching guitar for 20 odd years, but teaching on YouTube is a very different art form, and I still feel like I'm getting to grips with it. So any kind of feedback, like Padraig jumping in and telling me that my mic was too low, that's such a fundamental thing, but, you know, I just hadn't spotted it. So anything like that is really helpful. Right, so we've basically spotted what the differences are between Phrygian and Aeolian, and then therefore worked out which beats were different. So we should be able to join them together now quite easily. So let's look at bar 1. Okay, so bar 1, we're going from fret 7, beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. Let's join those together. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2, 3, 4. Fraction faster. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, 4. And then bar 2 should be relatively easy as well. So we're going from 9 here, then from 10, then from beat 3, fret 7. Okay. That's quite an awkward fingering, look. That last. It's very unpentatonic-y. So if we join bar 2 together, 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 10, 7, no, 9, no, 7, and we're done. Let's join the whole line together, and then we'll put the backing track on. Here we go. 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2, 3, 4. Right. Backing track, Logic. I'll leave the tab on screen for you guys. Here we go. We're going from Lydian, okay, all the way through to Phrygian. Lydian, Ionian, Mixolydian, Dorian, Aeolian, Phrygian. There'll only be one more to go after this. 2, 3, 4 Iana. Lydian. cop that one up. We'll keep going. Aeolian. Now Phrygian. 5 out of 6 ain't bad, is it? That's the first mistake I've made tonight with regards to the exercises. Right, last mode. So, we're into Phrygian. We're into Locrian. I must be getting tired. So, the difference between Phrygian with its flat 2 and Locrian with its flat 5. Okay? Now, at this point, every single note has been flattened from our first mode. Okay, we flattened the 4th when we went from Lydian to Ionian. We flattened the 7th when we went from Ionian to Mixolydian. We flattened the 3rd when we went to Dorian. We flattened the 6th to the flat 6 when we went to Aeolian. Okay, flattened the 2nd when we went to Phrygian. And now with final note to flatten is the 5th. Everything, we've got completely regenerated scale. Root, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7. Everything's been flattened. Get it into your fingers. Okay, double pick it. Triple pick it. Just anything really to sort of... 16th notes, 1 Eander, 2 Eander. Okay. Let's do it. So our last exercise is at the bottom of the page. Hopefully that's... you can see everything. Do I need to put it up a little bit? Let's put it up a little bit. Oh, that's as far as I can go. Oh. Hang on. I've got the power here. There we go. It's better. Yeah. Right. Locrian is the 7th mode of the major scale. It is built off the 7th degree. Okay. It is often played over minor 7 flat 5 chords. And it's a lovely complex sound. You don't hear it very often, almost never in pop music. It does pop up in jazz. But you do hear it in metal, okay? Because everything's been flattened, it's got quite a dark sound. It's not quite as popular as Phrygian, but metal guitarists often sort of imply it when they go between like a 5, flat and 5. Okay, with those sort of dark power chords, so you can move between the 5th flat 5 and the sharp 5. Okay, so you do hear the flat 5 of Locrian, the implied Locrian pop up. Right, so again, we're looking for cells that will feature the 5th to sort of learn those. So that's roots, flat 2, flat 3, 4, that's the same, but then we do have the 5th here, look. 8, 10 on the A string, 7 and 8 on the D string. So that's a new cell, get it under the fingers. If I've not counted, but by learning across these 7 exercises, the number of new fingerings that you'll get under your into your fingers. It's amazing. And then the 3rd one's also going to feature the 5th. So you've got flat 3, 4, flat 5, 6. Up and down it, okay? Just absorb these new patterns. And then finally, 4, 5, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7. So all of these are new because of the position of the 5th being in the middle of the scale. Let's join those 4 cells up. So it's beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. Okay, let's close the gaps a little bit. 4 Eander. 3, 4. Now let's close the gaps completely. We'll run it as straight 16th notes. 3 and 4. 4 Eander, 1 Eander, 2 Eander, 3 Eander, 4 Eander. Good, no problem. We are then starting beat bar 2 with the flat fifth. There's a new fingering for you. But the good news is, because we're going from the 6th, everything else to the end is the same look. So beat 2, it's the same as Phrygian. Beat 3, same as Phrygian. Finish on an E, okay? That's the same, we've done that. So let's just put bar 2 together, starting from 8 on the D string. So 8, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7. Done. Let's join those up. 3 and 4 Eander. Good. Right. Let's join bars 1 and 2 together. We'll play bar 1, tiny gap, bar 2, 3 and 4 Eander. So on Locrian, 3 and 4 Eander. Shut up, Aaron. Into bar 2, 1 Eander, 2 Eander, 3 Eander. Let's close the gap. Let's remove that gap. So we've got a straight 2 bar exercise. 3 and 4 Eander, 1 Eander, 2, 3, 4. Into bar 2. Right, let's do it. Full backing track, all 7 modes, okay? From start to finish, and then we're going to do some ear training. So if you guys are tuning in for the ear training, a little bit late tonight. But as these studies get harder week by week, obviously they take a little bit longer to teach. So, you don't need to see logic. I see logic. All 7, starting with Lydian, going all the way through to Locrian. If you're just tuning in, the tab for this is in the description, okay? You can download it for free from our Patreon. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Lydian. Mixolydian. Dorian. Aeolian. Let's do that again. I'm going to finish with it correctly. Lydian. Ionian. Pretend that didn't happen, right? Mixolydian. Dorian. Aeolian. Phrygian. Locrian. 7 modes for the price of 1. We've done. Right, so that is all 7 modes, okay? Sequenced, ascending sequencing. Next week is likely to be descending sequencing. Okay, so the same thing in reverse. If you've got any questions on that, ask me now. Just drop a comment. If you've enjoyed that, hit the like button and drop a comment, okay? Certainly let me know where you're watching from. At the moment, I can only add Padraig, who's in Northern Ireland, to the world map of commenters. But we're going to do some ear training now, okay? So we've had an hour and a half to the dot. That is, I'd like to say that was good planning, but so bit of guitar, bit of keyboard, but we're going to do some interval recognition, okay? So I do on a Monday night, I do just an ear training live stream, okay? So that's for all musicians, not just guitarists. You could be a pianist, a singer, drummer, whatever. And I test you on your interval recognition, both melodic intervals, harmonic intervals, triad recognition sometimes, do a bit of sort of singing to connect your voice to your instrument, plenty of stuff. Tonight we're going to do interval recognition, and we'll see about the time, but you're going to need a piece of paper and you're going to write down, or a page on your iPad, whatever, and you're going to write down 1 to 12. Let's start with the guitar. It's been a guitar session. So the modes are split into, we're doing simple modes, which means all the modes within a space of 1 octave. Your highest mode is the octave. And then we can categorize those in 2 ways. The diatonic modes. So the diatonic modes are all the modes within the major scale. So root 2nd, root 3rd, root 4th, root 5th, 6th, 7th, octave. I'm going to give you the interval cheat sheet, which is on our... this is a free download from our Patreon. There we go. Look. I can make me bigger again. So let's do that. Hang on. Probably thinking, why is he making himself bigger? There we go. Look. Booty. So the diatonic ones are the top ones. Okay, and then the non-diatonic intervals are all the ones that are outside of the major scale. Okay, so if we're going from E again, flat 2, flat 3, flat 5 or diminished 5th, flat 6, flat 7. So you notice they all sound a bit darker. Okay, those are the notes that we brought into our modes as we moved from mode to mode. Right, so there will be one of each. Okay, there will be one of each diatonic interval, one of each non-diatonic interval, and you will hear them played melodically. So let's take one. Let's take the 6th. Okay, so the examples I've given you there are My Way. Okay, so that's a melodic 6th because you hear the root and then the 6th separately, and you will also hear them harmonically, which is the 2 notes played together. So think harmony, okay, rather than melody. Now, when we do the interval tests on a Monday night, we do a separate test for melodic and harmonic intervals because the harmonic intervals are harder. But just purely from a time perspective tonight, I'm going to do them together. So you'll hear both. And they are in a random order, okay? Completely random, but you will hear one of each. Here we go. If you need me to repeat one at any point, drop a comment, okay? I will see it. That's why I keep looking down here. I've got my laptop set up so I can read your comments. Right, yeah. Number 1. Right, do I need to tune my guitar? Do you know what? The B string's a little bit dodge. So I don't really want to ask you guys to do an ear test and with an out-of-tune guitar. Be a little bit mean, wouldn't it? Oh, no, sorry, the G string sharp, not the B string flat. The heat, man. It is unbelievably hot here in Cambridgeshire. Where are you guys watching from? Let me know. I want to know where people are watching from. It's fascinating. Some of the lovely places where people have commented that they're watching from. It's kind of like mind-blowing that I'm sat here in my studio in Cambridgeshire and people are watching from the Philippines and India and Alaska. It's been really cool. Right, I'm back. Here we go. Number 1. Go into the bridge pickup, give you a bit more bite. Number 1. So that is the interval. Melodically and then harmonically. WA. That's Washington, right? Yes. Mate, you are... I haven't got Washington ticked off on my... because I've got a map drawn out with all the states. I've got nothing from Washington. So, cool. So I can add Northern Ireland and Washington tonight to the map. So that's the interval. Shred Lord. What a great username. So much cooler than the Jam Station. So melodic, harmonic. That's number 1. This is number 2. The Metaling Man. I don't need to ask what kind of music you play, dude. What sort of guitar do you play, though? Do you play, a pointy, spiky guitar, like a BC Rich, or are you a traditionalist like me? So this is interval number 2, melodically and harmonically. Remember, you can ask me to repeat one if you haven't got it in time, but use that chart if it helps. Number 3. That's number 3, melodically and harmonically. I really enjoy this part of this session because it's so much less intense. Not that I don't enjoy the guitar teaching part, but I really do. But it requires a lot of planning. Like all day Thursday is spent preparing for this session, while the ear training part's just a lot of fun, and people tend to be a bit more chatty as well. I think because they're not trying to keep up with what I'm doing on screen. That's number 3. Number 4. So yeah, the comment rate tends to go up towards the end of the session when I'm doing this. Maybe that's because you're all drunk by this point. This is number 4. Okay. Number 5. Interval number 5. What kind of interval is that? It's number 5. Number 6. Washington. I've never been to Washington State. So we're halfway through that. Number 7. Oh, bit of buzz. Number 7. So that's melodic and harmonic. It's a fairly obvious one, that one. That's number 7. Number 8. It's number 8. You may find that slightly harder on the lower notes, okay? The lower strings. They tend to be easier around where our voice. Melanie Friends popped in. How are you, Melanie? Are you doing your ear test? So that's number 8. Number 9. And yeah, that was a lovely comment to leave to say that since he's been doing these YouTubes, and he's a member of our Patreon now as well. His plan has improved a lot. That's a lovely, lovely thing to hear. That's number 9. Number 10. You play PRS? Oh, mate, you got loads of guitars. Oh, hang on, we need to stop here. We all need to see what... what's your name, dude? I'm assuming you wasn't christened Shredlord, although that would be the coolest thing in the world if you were. This is number 10. Right, and we're just going to take a pause, everybody, and see what this guitar is. So, sorry, Mike. PRS SE. So even I know the SEs are the cheaper version of the PRSs, aren't they? But they're still brilliant. That's the thing about PRSs. They're still such nice guitars. It's not like when you buy like an Epiphone version of a Gibson. Like Epiphones are perfectly nice guitars. They really are. But they're not the same as playing a Gibson. While the PRS SEs that I've played have been such playable guitars. A 1991 American Stratocaster. Dude, you must either be quite a bit older than me and be retired to have all these guitars, or be doing very well in life. John Petrucci 7-string guitar. I've not played one of them. I have played 7-string guitars, but it was an Ibanez. Yamaha Pacifica. Dude, I have the Mike Stern Pacifica. Look. Mike Stern is one of my favourite guitarists. I met him when I was in music college a long time ago, and he was just blew my mind how good he was. But he plays his own model Pacifica. So, and it's actually dented to a lot. It's got a lot of marks and stuff on it. But I just saw it at such a good price, and I just thought, I've got to get it. Because when I saw it, from the day I saw him play it, I just thought I need one. So it's taken me 20 years. But yeah, Pacificas are really, really functional guitars. Squire Affinity Precision Jazz Bass. Oh, I've got one of those as well. And 2 acoustic guitars and a ukulele. You got the... What are you putting lol for? Don't lol. That makes me feel really old. I got the 1991 Stratocaster from one of my dad's co-workers, and he gave it to me for free. Oh, he broke your SG. Okay, that's fair enough. Still, God, he could have gotten you. He could have gotten you any guitar. Do you know what I mean? As the gesture, and he got you a 1991 Strat. Man. So I am actually older than that guitar, which is probably why you lolled. But so yeah, thanks for sharing that, mate. That's really nice. I've got a fairly similar collection, but I don't have the 7-string, and I don't have a PRS. But anyway, let's finish the test because we was up to number 10. Nice little interlude. If anyone else wants to send in a message saying what their guitar collection is like, this is the best thing about the guitar community is we're so excited for each other's guitar collections. Everyone's like, oh man, I got one of them. And guitars are always so much more exciting than amps. Number 11 is... it's number 11. That's also a fairly obvious one, like once you can hear it, you can really hear it. And finally, number 12 is this. Okay, so here it is melodically, and here it is harmonically. Melodically, harmonically. So you're looking for, that's 12 intervals. Let me know if you want me to repeat any. Okay, if there are any you want me to repeat, then I'll happily do so. I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes because I think there's a little bit of a lag between me saying something and by the time you guys get the... But if you just send me a interval number, I'll give you it again. They're all planned in advance. So, yeah, I'll just play it for a minute or two, just in case it give you the chance to request any of those again. Commented on the Deep Purple record behind my head there. I put that up especially because of the Deep Purple reunion last night. What are you guys' thoughts on that? You want to hear 11 again? Number 11 was this one. That was from here, so I did play it from here. That's number 11. Any more? I see there's a few of you there. A 1991 American Stratocaster. I'm very impressed. I don't have a guitar that old. In fact, this is my oldest guitar. Just looked around. This is a 57 reissue, but... no, I've got an Epiphone double neck. And that was made in 19... That is a tritone. Don't give everybody the answers, dude. I'm going to give you the answers now. But you're right. Yeah, that is a tritone. The interesting thing about the tritone, obviously the tritone is a very special interval in that it is like the midpoint between the octave and everything. But obviously it can be a sharp 4. It can also be a flat 5. So if I'm playing... And it sounds so different, even though it is exactly the same. It sounds so different depending upon the context. So if I'm playing Lydian here, say, so I'm playing D Lydian. Okay, there's a sharp 4 there. Okay. It's got such a bright sound. listening while making pasta. Thanks for this. You tried Sonofield. No, I haven't. I'll have to check that out. But it's really cool. You're a drummer, yeah? Yeah. It's really cool that I've got a drummer in as well. I will check that out. I will write that down. It's an ear training app, is it? To help with interval recognition and stuff. So if that's the case, dude, don't give people stuff that's going to take people away from my ear training sessions. No, I'm only joking. Yeah, I'll check that out. There was an ear training app that I used to use years ago, but that was quite an old thing that I used on desktop. So, I mean, God, we should be doing ear training every day. Do you know what I mean? That's why I do it every single Monday night. I do these sessions every Monday night. You're going to become a drummer. Oh, cool. Well, so there's two people talking here. So Shredlord is going to be a drummer. So, do you know what? I've noticed a lot of metal guitarists. I think it's because of the... Dude, good recovery. You saved yourself well there. So, a lot of metal guitarists play the drums. I think it's because of the innate rhythm. Like, obviously, metal is such a rhythm-heavy genre, isn't it? And metal guitarists are amongst the finest rhythm guitarists out there because they have to have such tight picking hands. A lot of them go on to play drums as well. I know a couple of metal guitarists, and they all learn the drums as well. So up to a decent level. It's my brother. I was in a band in my 20s and early 30s, very good band, but my brother was my drummer. So I never really had need to learn drums, you know. I'm a terrible drummer. But right, the answers. Oh no, I was just saying, sorry about the sharp 4. If your tritone is a sharp 4, it's got a really bright sound. Well, if the context of it is as a flat 5th, say in the blues scale, it's suddenly got such a dark. You would never even realise that they're the same. That they're the same interval. Because of the context of it being a flat 5, it sounds really sort of dark and sinister. But then as a sharp 4 in the Lydian mode, it sounds really sweet and lovely. So, right, the answers, apart from number 11, which you will have now. Number 1 was a 4th. Perfect 4th, okay? So, here comes the bride. Number 2 was a major 2nd. Okay? Happy birthday. So who needs a Sonofield app, right? We've got these tests. Number 3 was a major 6th. And now the end is near. Okay. Or if you're in France, je me lève. Okay. Number 4 was a flat 3, which I did here. Okay. So that's your whole lot of love. Although I wrote down... I didn't write a whole lot of love down, I wrote down Greensleeves. Okay, but the important part of that is... Bum, bum. That's your flat 3rd. Number 5 was a flat 6th. Okay. So you've got your... The winner takes it all. No, that's a flat 7. Flat 6 is the entertainer. It's a slightly tough one, that, because we don't hear that a lot in a lot of Western music, in melodies anyway. Number 12 was a 7th. It's your Superman theme. Okay. But the important bit being that when you hear that harmonically, the 7th wants to resolve up a semitone to the octave, okay? They're not that happy sitting there together. Okay. That was number 6. Number 7 was a flat 2. Okay, that's a very distinctive one, as I said, because the two notes are very close together. They fight for airspace, so it creates quite a dark sound. Okay, they don't like existing in the same space. Number 8 was a major 3rd. Okay. Oh, when the saints or can buy me love. If that's too low for you, can buy. Number 9 was a fifth. Twinkle, twinkle. I don't even remember doing that. I'm wondering if with all the excitement of Shredlord's guitar collection, I'm wondering if I missed that one out. Hopefully not. So that was a fifth anyway. Then we had... I don't remember doing the octave either. I'm starting to wonder if I missed a couple of these out. I don't know. I did it there from a C. Apologies. Right, so number 10 was an octave. I did do it from a C. Obviously, those two notes sit together beautifully because the frequency of the octave is exactly double the frequency of the root. So the notes don't fight. The frequencies just sit together perfectly. And number 11 was the tritone, as Shredlord said. Okay, The Simpsons, if you're a fan of 90s cartoons, or Maria, if you're a fan of opera. And finally, we finished with a flat 7, number 12, which is The Winner Takes It All. Right, there's still a few of you there, so drop a comment to let me know how many you got out of 12. Okay, we share our results here and within the community. Melanie, friend, how many did you get? I know you've been doing these tests. Yeah, let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know how many you got out of 12. But like I say, I do a full session of ear training on a Monday night at 7 p.m. BST, which is London time, and then I tend to finish each mode session with an ear training as well, just because it's good fun. Rather than finish with some chord and triad recognition, what I'm going to do is something a little bit more advanced, but come and give it a go. This is going to involve you using your voice, but so I'm just pulling my piano out. So what I'm going to do, I see there's a few of you online, okay? Hopefully this won't distract you from your pasta cooking, dude. Pasta and Pixels, you're doing really good. Thanks. Oh, mate, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Where are you watching from? Yeah, cool. Thank you. I honestly really appreciate that. I do enjoy these sessions, but there's the occasional week, admittedly more so in the first few weeks, where you felt like you were doing it to no one. Sometimes I'd come off a session, I'd do 90 minutes and wouldn't get a single comment. And you just think, why am I doing this? But then nights like tonight, where we've had some really nice comments and stuff, it feels totally worth it. But even more so to hear from someone like, you didn't need to tell me that. So it's nice that you did. This last exercise, we'll finish with a bit of this for 10 minutes. So like I say, with your ear training and interval recognition, the first step really is being able to hear the intervals and recognize them. But it's when you start replicating them with your voice, then it becomes, you're basically making the sounds and the intervals part of yourself. You're creating the intervals, you're creating the sounds. And it becomes more inherently musical and more holistic, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a dyad. In this case, a root and a fifth. Okay, so if you were playing a guitar, that would be a power chord. Okay, so if I drop that down an octave, sounds like a power chord. Yeah, so a root and a fifth. Now I'm going to ask you to sing a third. Now, if you've not done this before, you look up at the cheat sheet there on screen, and you can see that the third is "Oh When the Saints." So our tune is "Oh When." Okay, "Oh When the Saints," but the important bit being "Oh When." Now I'm going to give you the root in the fifth, and I'm going to ask you to sing the third with it, and then we are creating a chord between us. I'm giving you the root in the fifth, and you're singing the third, and that creates our triad root third fifth. If you've no idea how to do that, it doesn't matter, stick with me, okay, because I'm just going to talk you through the process. We'll do it with the process a couple of times, and then I'll just give you a few examples to try it. But as with anything like this, if you've not done this before, if you're a guitarist who's never really sung much, or a drummer, or any, you know, this is next step stuff, but sometimes it's hard, but you just need to keep doing it until you start to get it right, okay? And enjoy that journey. Enjoy the fact you're stretching yourself musically. So the process is you're you'll hear your dyad, and the first thing you need to do is pick out the root note. Now, our ears are instinctively drawn to the highest note. When we hear a chord, our ears are drawn to the highest note. So you're probably hearing, but that's the fifth. We want to hear, you want to hear the resolution of that. Once you've got the root, then you've got something to project up onto for our third. So when I'm hearing, I sing to Just Learning More. I've been singing for 3 years. Oh, cool. Okay, good. Well, hopefully this sort of thing will help. Singing thirds is a really important skill, even for people who, I've mentioned this a couple of times, even for people who don't see themselves as like lead singers or guitarists who like to see themselves as lead guitarists, you know, you will be much more employable as a musician when you start playing with bands, especially if you audition for bands that are already in place. If you say, yeah, I'll sing a few harmonies, they will be so glad to stick a mark in front of your face and let you sing some harmonies. Even better, if you don't feel if you haven't got to like learn a load of harmonies, you can actually just harmonize. And that usually involves singing in thirds. But if you go to an audition for a band and there's 2 or 3 guitarists going for that spot, and I'm not joking here, they will invariably go for the guy who is a solid guitarist who can sing harmonies above the guy who shreds like Steve Vai but can't sing or doesn't want to sing. I guarantee the lead singer, once you've left that room, the lead singer will be fighting for the guy who sings harmonies. I've been in that room, okay? And the singer wants the guy who sings harmonies because it's support for him, okay? The lead singer doesn't want to be singing on their own all night, and especially at the end of the night. If you're doing 3 sets of 45 minutes of covers in a pub, by the end of the night, the singer's voice is shredded. He wants the guy who says halfway through the third set, hey, I'll do a couple of songs, and just lets the singer like play a bit of percussion or play some rhythm guitar. He will want that. So this sort of skill, developing your ability to hear thirds and sing thirds, is really important. So we played our root note, and then when is your third. Let's do another one. I'm going to give you your dyad. There it is. Try and hear the lower note, okay? So you may be hearing the high note more. We don't want that. We want... It's more resolved. Now, once you've got your root note, you can then project up to the third. Try it. I'm not going to give you the note straight away. Just take a second to do it yourself. While you're doing your pastel or whatever you're doing. Oh, hit the third. Oh, when. If you didn't get it, it doesn't matter one bit. If you sang the wrong note, it doesn't matter at all. You just got to keep doing it. Oh, when. Here's another one. I'll go slightly lower. There's your dyad. There's your fifth. Pitch the root note. Okay? Hopefully you're singing. Hopefully you're starting to get more drawn to that than. Okay? Now, take that and go up a third. You're looking for Oh When the Saints. Give it a go. Ready? Oh, when. Oh, when. Hit the minor third accidentally. Oh, when. Again, doesn't matter if you get the first 10 wrong. You'll start to get it right, I promise. And then you'll start to hear this in music. Right, let's go up a little bit. Let's go from here. Sing the root. So your root note is okay. Listen to that and try and filter out the now Up a third. Go for it. Oh. Up a third. Go for it. I'll get the right note this time. So you're going for oh when. And we're effectively doing our own orchestration here. Orchestration is the ability or is the act of like a composer decides which instruments take what note in a chord. Okay, so the violins might get a chord, might get a note. The clarinets might get a note. The bass will take a note, you know, and the ensemble overall is creating often quite a huge chord, depending on which composer it is. Okay, that could be really simple, that could be really a big chord, but we're creating our own sort of mini orchestration here because the piano is taking the root in the fifth, and you and your voice are creating the third. And together we're creating a minor third. Right, now, give that a go, keep giving it a go. I'm going to just do a couple more, but I want you to, for this one, try and use your instinct a bit, okay? And see if you can just sing the third straight off. So try not to go through the process of like, sing the root, then go up a third. See if you can just sing the third. See what happens. I'll give you it in a second. Okay, but I just want to give you a chance to sort of like try and find the note. Does it feel like you've sung Oh When the Saints? Is your third. Okay, so your root note, let's work backwards now. Oh, when. I can see there's still a few of them. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Hopefully you're giving it a go. And don't be shy about, I'm assuming you're not sitting in the middle of a pub or a cafe doing this. Hopefully you're sitting at home doing this. But now we can turn our chord. When we have root, third, your voice, fifth, the piano, we're creating a major triad there, a major chord. If we flatten that third, we will turn that chord minor, okay? So, if we go down a semitone, listen to the combined effect of the root and fifth here, the minor third, got ahead and E, enjoy this return, see you soon. Okay, mate, cheers. What's your name? Because major there's a pretty distinctive sound, so not too bad. Good. Good. I appreciate that. Well, we're doing the minor thirds, and I'm going to push up to the fourth as well before we finish. But I really appreciate you dropping in with a comment, and I would love to see you again. Yeah, Monday night is just ear training, okay? All night. Well, all night. A couple of hours. So, and where are you watching from, dude? You didn't tell us, did you? Because I'm trying to add as many states and countries to the world map as possible. Right, so this... drop it down to minor, back to major, minor. You're controlling the chord that you're creating with your voice, okay? James, pleased to meet you, James. I'm Aaron. Oh, you're a music therapist. Oh, lovely. Play a bit of everything these days. Cool. Manchester. You weren't on TikTok earlier, were you? Because there was someone chatting to me on TikTok earlier from Manchester. Who's a... No. He was a bassist, sorry. Cool. I love the Smiths, and I love the Smiths, and I really like the Stonemasons as well. So Manchester has a very rich musical heritage. Cool, yeah, hopefully chat to you again. So, cool. Right, next one. Root and fifth. Try and sing the third straight off the bat. If you need to hit the root first, go for it. Give your hand your root note is Eric. Ah, my granddad's name. Lovely. I'm Aaron Story. My granddad was Eric Story. And there's also a famous author who's Eric Story. My granddad used to get quite a lot of his mail. People used to, back in those days, like, anonymity was not such a big thing. People would just find his address online and send him letters. So, your favourite note of all the musical notes is... That's interesting. So are you pitch perfect then? Because I asked that question because people who are pitch perfect often they hear different notes as like often different colours and things like that. So, because I don't feel I have a favourite note as such, but I do have favourite intervals because I've got really good relative pitch, but I don't have perfect pitch. So, there's your dyad. Jump up to the third. Okay, so it's oh, and then up to the third. I'll give you an E in a minute. Oh, when. So we've created a major chord. Let's drop it down a semitone so that it's minor. Oh, cool, you got relative pitch as well, right, cool. Back to major. Right, and as I just said to James there, we're going to go back to our major third, and then rather than come down a semitone, we're going to go up a semitone, which is to our fourth, okay? Which means we're suspending the chord. We're creating a suspended chord. You've probably heard of sus chords, okay? We create a sus chord when we suspend the third for either a second or a fourth, okay? So here's our major third. It's a bit high for me. I should have chosen a lower note. Rather than come down to the minor, we're going to go up. Down to minor. Back up to major. Back up to the fourth. Now, you may find singing the fourth slightly harder. If you're wondering why that is, because some people find it quite easy to move between the major third and the minor third, it's because this note, the fourth, is only a tone below the fifth. If I just play the fourth and fifth together, look, there's a little bit of fighting going on there in the air between the two frequencies. So some people, if they're not used to singing seconds, it almost feels like you're singing something wrong, like you're going too close to the... So you need to practice it till it starts to feel natural. Right, I'm going to give you one more and then I'm going to stop because we've been going a couple of hours. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a lovely night. So here's your dyad, okay? So, try and sing the third. If you can't hit the third straight away, you cheat! I thought Eric had... And where are you watching from, Eric? Oh, no, you said you're watching from Washington, didn't you? Yeah. Didn't you? Yeah. So Eric from Washington and James from Manchester. So I was really impressed when he got that tritone and he did it with his guitar. Well done for owning up anyway. There's your dyad. If you can't sing the third, pitch the root. Okay, that's your lower note. Jump up a third. Oh, when. Now go up. Take your third up a semitone. So it's your third. Suspend it. Down to the minor third. Now we can suspend in the opposite direction by taking our minor third down to our second. How beautiful is that? The magic of harmony. Minor, major, suspended fourth. I forgot it was in this session. No, as a mate, it's fair enough. I'm only joking. It was a guitar lesson, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? The first hour and a half of this session was a guitar lesson. So Right, so we started with a major triad, and then we went down to the minor, back up, then we went up to the fourth, and finally we've done a little run between those two, that root and fifth. We went from the second, minor, major, suspended. You could even go up to the sharp four if you wanted. If you found singing the fourth difficult because it's a tone from the fifth, you'd find the sharp four even weirder because we've now created that between the chord and our voice. Right, I'm going to call that a day there. If you've got any questions, drop them in now. Absolutely happy to answer them. I've really enjoyed the chat. It's often the case that the ear training seems to generate more chit chat in the comments than the actual guitar lesson, but that's cool. So if you've enjoyed the ear training, I do just an ear training session on a Monday evening at 7 p.m. BST. That's London time. So bit earlier for you, Eric, but yeah, that's Monday night. And then the Thursdays is the modes. And I'm thinking of doing a third live stream every week just because it's proven to be such fun. So if you've got something you'd like to work on, then feel free to drop a comment and let us know what you'd like to work on, because I haven't decided whether my third weekly live stream is going to be about, say, the cage system or improvisation or just a general music theory. We'll see. At the moment, I'm veering towards the cage system with a little bit of jamming at the end. But yeah, you're very welcome, mate. I appreciate it. So it's good to meet you, Eric. So especially Eric with the amazing guitar collection. So yeah, and that ear interval cheat sheet, if you like, is free download on our Patreon. So let's just flick to that quickly so you can see it. Here's Patreon. If I go to our library, where is it there? You can see all these professionally produced lessons, tons of them. Okay, if I get down to the bottom here, that is 1 to 50 of 174. Padre, mate, you're still here. I'm so pleased. That's really cool. So, yeah, mate, lovely. So, yeah, did you enjoy the ear training, or did you come in more for the guitar stuff? Or did YouTube just throw me into your on your wall tonight? Either way, I'm pleased you guys hung around. So it's really nice. So I'll be adding Northern Ireland and Washington to the map tonight. Washington State. So cool. Yeah, so this is the our Patreon is currently $2 a month. That will be going up soon. So if you want to lock yourself in at $2 a month for the rest of your guitar playing life, go and grab it now, okay? Because $2 a month is less than a coffee, but you get access to all this stuff. And I add like 1 or 2 lessons to this every single week without fail. And if you missed, let's go back to all of these live streamed lessons. Look, come on this live tab here. Everything I've done. So if you missed a bit earlier, or if you want to check back over some of the earlier stuff, most of these are modes, loads of modes. Every single lesson is a different way of looking at the modes. Okay, I'll be honest, I've noticed through teaching these lessons that my playing has improved quite a lot, which has been really nice. Padre, thrown in, but mostly for the guitar. Cool. Do you ever do any ear training as well, or was that kind of new? So, but yeah, so there's Patreon and there's the YouTube channel if you want to check back on any of the ones. But yeah, either way, really enjoyed it tonight. We're nearly at 300, which is great. So I cannot wait for the day where I'm looking and rather than being pleased it's got to 300 viewers for the night, that it's got to 1,000. So just need to keep cracking away with it, cracking on with it. Have a good evening. Practice really hard. And but don't be afraid to tell your friends about this. If you've got friends who are guitarists or musicians, need to work on their ear training. Monday night, we're going to a lot more depth. Okay, we do the intervals harmonically and melodically separately. We do triad recognition, 7th chord recognition, and then finish with some sort of singing with thirds and things like that. And that diet exercise we just did there. Okay, so there's a whole load of it. But that is your most important tools as musicians, guys, are your ears, not your fingers. Trust me. So, all right, cool. Eric, Padraig, James, when he was still here, Melanie, friend, I don't know if you're still here, Melanie. And Anthony dropped in earlier as well, which was really cool. So, yeah, lovely. Yeah, God, I went off then looking at the comments. Have a great week. Have a great evening. And I'll see you on Monday night for more ear training.